Thank you for joining me again on Carpathian Countryside for episode number 25 with me, Mrsealyp. We're back here on Carpathian. I've got mowing to do. Now I did say, the money's gone up as you can see. Did I put the thumbnails up? It seems like so long ago I was on here. All sorts of stuff has been going on over the last few days. I finished off the contracts that I had for harvesting. I have left the harvesters over this area, and I should tell you for why. Because if we look at the map and go to crop types and then growth, those three are ready to be harvested, or they will be in the next cycle, so will 29. 31 is showing, was that shown as a harvest contract? I can't remember now. There's down there in field 39. But these ones, we've got a wheat, a barley, and is that potato? Hang on. Sorghum? That's my eyesight's gone really, but yeah, sorghum, isn't it? So they should be ready to be harvested. So I've left the harvesters here. So if the contracts pop up tomorrow, as we go into July 2, I can take on those contracts as well. The baling contract on field 17 was done, and after me saying what I said I was going to do, I can't remember if I took any footage of me delivering bales. I can't remember if I took any footage. If I have, I'm just thinking I might have deleted it. Oh, what? Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's okay. So I said I was going to do some mowing because we're going to sort out what we're going to do about sheep. So because I'd leased this gear rather than borrowed equipment from the farmer, because I'd leased the ultimate mowing pack stuff. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to mow all the bits that I own. Don't know what that I can. Let's unfold that. I'm going to use the front mower and go around the edges of my fields, but I'm going to do that with the quick bale that I had for the contract. I'm going to do some more silage bales, and I'm going to swap them out. So what I'm going to do is, however many silage bales I'll get, I'll put those into my storage, and I'll take out ones that are fully fermented, so I can sell those. So I'm just replacing like for like. So I'm going to keep my money the same, but I'm going to buy a piece of equipment. And again, because I've said this so many times before, you say things with that kind of, oh, you know, I'm going to buy a piece of equipment, but then I'll probably use that piece of equipment for the thumbnail anyway. So it's it doesn't matter. I'm going to get the Sadie, and it's a mixer wagon, cleaner, upper forage wagon. It's a bit of everything really. Now I'm hoping it's going to work. I haven't tested actually, so there's me saying all that. I hope it's going to work the way I think it's going to. So I'm going to mow all this, but we're also going to put in a new building as well. I said about putting in a hayloft, and I was trying to work out really the best one to go for. And in the end I thought, you know what, I did kind of mention I might go for one of the Omatana silos, you know, something along those lines, because it just makes more sense, I think personally, to use a silo. It can be used for other things as well, but a silo that you know it works well, it will do the job, it will take other things as well if you want to. But if you're strict with yourself and just say, look, I'm going to use this for a hayloft, but it does have the ability for drying as well. It's one of the farm production buildings, I think I used, like I said, I'm sure I used it in Western Wilds. So what I'm going to do is do the mowing, do the bit of baling I need to do. I'm going to get the Sadie, and the Sadie I should be able to collect the grass with. So it'll be like a self-propelled forage wagon, I think. That will then tip into our silo, and then if I'm lucky, which I'm not always, but if I'm lucky, mind the call. If we need to at any point, I can then turn the dryer on and I can take some of the grass and turn it into hay. If I would rather feed hay, or I need hay for something else, or if we get cows. I mean, to be fair, we have got bales. That's why I said we've got all the requisite materials for making Tart Mix ration already. We have got all of that in storage. I might go a bit further up the embankment there. I might get away with that. So that's the plan. We're going to get a bit of that done today. I've got to work out where I'm going to put that silo in, actually. I mean, I say silo, it's more like a building. It is more like a hayloft, in all honesty. Just working out whether I can get around the field next door. It's got our wheat in it. Maybe with the baler on the back. So what I might do is what I did a while back. So a while back, it probably wasn't that long ago. After one of the contracts, well, I went around the yard cutting all the grass. What did I get? 19 bales, something like that, wasn't it? But then some of the grass that I had then, I have put now grapevines or the little grape orchards on some of that, so I won't be able to do all that anyway. So we shall see. Now a lot of people have been asking because I wasn't being deliberately cryptic. I know there's that thing people do where they'll put a cryptic message on social media, Facebook, wherever it is, because they want people to do the whole, oh no, what's wrong kind of thing. That wasn't my intention. I wasn't. That's what I didn't want to burden people with my woes and problems and that kind of stuff. And over your lifetime, you'll encounter all sorts of things that happen. But a lot of people have been asking, people have been sending me messages and saying, I hope you're okay and that kind of thing. And as it stands at the moment, I don't know is the answer. I don't know if I am, if I'm going to be. Fingers crossed, yes. It's a very weird situation, and I'm sure it was something I thought was very rare. But as it turns out, going to the hospital, not so much. I don't know if it's a thing that's becoming more common. It seems to me like a weird epidemic. But Wednesday evening, we had a lot of mods drop, and I was sitting making my mod review. Right as rain, good as gold. There were a lot of mods, took a while to set it all up, about 2 hours, 2.5 hours to set it all up. By the time I was ready to do the mod review itself, I felt like I had full-blown flu. In 2.5 hours, I'd gone from feeling fine to feeling like I had full-blown flu. Feverish, headache, dizzy, I was feeling nauseous, my limbs ached, I had no energy, I just felt, it hit me like a steam train. I just couldn't work out what was going on. Made the mod review, went upstairs, and said to Mrsealyp, I need to go to bed. I mean, it was just, bang, out for the count. The following morning I woke up, and everyone, the kids at Mrsealyp said, something's wrong with Dad. It's, I'm normally up I normally wake up earlier than my alarm. I'm normally up, by the time they're kind of all getting up and coming down, I'm normally downstairs, already at my desk and recording. I didn't get out of bed, which was a bit worrying. All through the night I was running a temperature, I was in a real state. So when I came down, went out and sat on the deck because it was nice and cool outside. Mrsealyp came out, looked down at my leg and said, what's wrong with your leg? I was like, what do you mean? I looked down, oh my days. My lower right leg was red, raw, swollen. I mean, not swollen, I mean, it didn't feel like it was swollen. Hot to the touch, it was just, wow. And he said, well, that's your problem. I was like, what is that kind of, what is going on? What is it? So I go to the doctor, and the doctor says, I'll put you on some antibiotics, run through a list of things it could be, each one slightly more terrifying than the other. So I'm, at this point, panic. So he said, I'll give you antibiotics, go home, take those. So in your mind you're thinking, brilliant stuff, I've seen the doctor, antibiotics, great, get cracking on that. And I was like, so if he draws a line round it, said, in case it spreads, he says, the antibiotics, oral antibiotics, probably aren't going to touch this. They're probably not going to do anything at all. If you wake up tomorrow, Friday, and that's spread out past the line I've drawn on your leg, or your fever hasn't come down, either or, go straight to the hospital to accident and emergency. Like, okay. Wake up the following, another night of high temperature, feeling absolutely awful, didn't sleep at all well. Wake up the following day, felt worse. It had spread, oh man, just awful. So Mrsealyp ummed for about 30 seconds. So I'm right, hospital. So I spent the entire day Friday at the hospital, which was nice. And they ran through tests for all sorts, blood clots and DVT and all sorts of things. But I think it's cellulitis, I think is what it's called. So I'm in the waiting room, and they take you through and put a cannula in your arm and right, going to put in an antibiotic drip. Now I've only ever had an antibiotic drip when I've been in hospital for operations or things like that before, and so I'm like, okay, drip goes in, have the drip, done, bosh, away you go. I do the drip. Well, blood test had to be done. That took 2 hours for the results to come back from those, so it was a bit of a wait. And then antibiotic drip, that went in, flushed, blah blah blah, and then it was like, okay, well, what we'll do, we'll send you home. So how was someone thinking they're going to take the cannula out at some point? Surely the cannula will come out my arm. Nope, cannula stays in. You go home. Come back tomorrow, same time, we'll do another drip. I was like, oh, okay, I've encountered that before, but yeah, fair enough. Why is that not picking up? Probably because I didn't have the pickup on. There we go. I'll go around again. Yeah, send me home. Come back tomorrow, we'll do another one. So, okay, fair enough. Not sure how long they're gone for, but yeah, well, no worries. So go back the next day, same thing, do it again. By this point I'm in a room with people that have all been there the day before as well, all having pretty much the same thing. There were 4 of us, all men, all the same leg, all about the same sort of age. You couldn't make it up. It's like, this is bizarre. I never, you know, I didn't know it was as common a thing. And so they said, well, so that was Saturday. Come back tomorrow, Sunday. We'll do some more blood tests, and then what we'll do, we can evaluate that. You'll have another drip Sunday, so that'll be 3 days. So I'm like, okay, brilliant, 3 days. Doesn't, I mean, it looks like it might be getting a little bit better, but the problem is if I sit down, as I am now at my desk, it starts to swell and it gets painful. So the guy there was saying, oh, I said, if I'm not here having my drip done, I'm at home with my leg raised, you know, it's the only way really, otherwise it gets painful. And, you know. So I'm saying to him, it's my 50th on Saturday, I'm going to end up on antibiotics. My family have got a little, we're going for dinner, they've got a little party thing planned for me. I'm not going to be able to drink, I'm not going to be able to get, they've got a lot of disco thing afterwards, I'm not going to be able to dance, I'm not going to be able to, great, what are the odds of that happening this week, you know? And so I said to him, well, I need to work. I'm self-employed, I work from home, you know. So I'm trying to work out ways. I'm sitting at my desk, I've got a little bench seat thing under my desk, I've got my leg up on it. After about 20 minutes, it's so painful on my hip. So it's like, does my leg swell? Does my hip hurt? Which do you go for? Which pain do you go for? So anyway, I go back on Sunday, I had it done Sunday, and they said, oh, doctors reviewed it. They're not taking you off it today. Come back tomorrow. Tomorrow they'll do your bloods. And you'll have another drip on Monday. They'll review it Monday, or then you come back Tuesday for review. I'll probably have another drip on Tuesday, and they'll decide whether they're going to go with, by then it'll be 4 days, 5 days, but there'll be 5 days of intravenous antibiotics, or 7, I think, they might go for. It all depends on, what's the word I'm looking for? My mind's blanked, so I'm trying to concentrate on what I'm doing here, as well as doing this. This is one of my walk and talks, but in game format. Try to pull it down. Infection. It's an infection score they're kind of looking at. So they're looking at the infection score. Markers, that was it, infection marker. So they look at the infection marker in the blood test. So if the infection looks like it's clearing up, if the marker's coming down adequately enough, they'll reach a point where they'll say, okay, we can stop with intravenous antibiotics, we can send you home with a course of oral antibiotics, and that should knock it on the head. Brilliant. But it's just when and if they, you know, get to that point. So I'm thinking, okay, well that's all right. We can deal with that. That's all good. So yesterday I was in there, Sunday, mid of the afternoon, in the hospital having my drip done, and talking to the guys in there. There's a lady in there who's got a similar thing as well, and so we're all chatting, and then they all start scaring the life out of me with these horror stories of one of them's been in, he had it cleared up, 2 weeks later came back and he's on his second round of it. One woman had been in and hers hadn't cleared up at all, I mean literally at all, so she'd had 3 or 4 rounds of antibiotics and the antibiotics had not touched it at all. It's just, so now I'm at this point, I honestly don't know what's happening. I've got so many drugs going through my system, I'm taking painkillers left, right and centre, and it's just, it's one nightmare after another. If you've followed my channel for a while, oh dear, you know me. I mean, to be fair, I'm trying to think of the last year, my kids said the same thing, oh, dad's immune system seems to give up like every 6 months or so. I was thinking, I can't think what's gone wrong in the last 6 months. I thought I've been alright in the last 6 months or so, since I started my my weight loss thing and did those videos, and I've been doing the walks and talks, and now I've had a couple of injuries, like with my ankle went when I was out hiking and that kind of stuff. But as far as, you know, I say bad stuff, you know what I mean? Oh no, it's going to put a bail out now, isn't it? That's not going to help, and I'm going to end up going through the crop. So let's turn that off. No, I'm stuck on a tree. Right, I'm going to have to go through the crop. Look away now. There we go. Just dropped the bell there. So yeah, that's where we're at. Initially I wasn't gonna say anything. I wasn't talking, but so many people are asking me. And I've been sort of messaging people back and saying, look, you know, I'm on the mend, and you know, and I was talking to Mrsealyp this morning, and yeah, fingers crossed I am. Fingers crossed it's going to be okay. But I don't know where it's going to go from here. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm freaking out because, you know, and I know people have been lovely and they're being really nice, and people are messaging me saying, look, you know, don't worry about, you know, if you're not well, it doesn't matter if you don't put videos out. I get that, and I understand, and I know that your health comes first, but it's like I've always said, I've always kind of tried to ascribe to that, but the problem I have is, because this is what I do for a living, I'm self-employed. I don't have a massive stack of savings. I don't have money sat, you know, just as a big slush fund for these sorts of eventualities. If I don't make videos, if I don't earn money, I don't pay the bills. So it's that thing of, I've got to sit here with my leg up, with my hip hurting, my leg down, my leg swells, but I've got to make videos. I have to, you know. Because I felt so fluey so quickly on Thursday, and then obviously Friday when I ended up at the hospital, those 2 days, I didn't put any videos up Thursday or Friday. I'm trying to think if I did or didn't. And then Saturday I tried to get those map tours out, because those maps had come out. Oh, this is annoying me now. I shouldn't come round here. So I tried to get the map tours done. So it's a case of in fits and starts. I'll sit at my desk when I can, as I can, get done what I can. But yeah, unfortunately, it's just annoying more than anything else, you know. Because I was away at FarmCon and I had a few days off at FarmCon, then put out some content from FarmCon afterwards. And I said to Mrsealyp, right, I need to hit the rest of the month now, let's get a load of stuff out, and then you get clobbered, you know. I don't believe necessarily in fate per se, but it's like the universe is trying to tell me something. I'm not quite sure what the message is, but it's not good. So anyway, enough of my woes and tales, but I just want to let people know, because people had been asking, and I thought, you know what, it's just, I'll let them know this is the situation. Not a sob story, just telling you, just letting you know what the situation is, and what's been going on. Let's turn that on, just get rid of the last bit of grass there. Excellent. And yeah, well, I'll keep you posted as to what's going on. I'm going to head back up into the yard now. I'm going to go around and cut a bit more of the grass, and around the yard it'll be baled. That grass in the field, I'm trying to think if I've got any other grass areas that I own that I could cut for grass. Oh, I have actually, because I bought that plot of land over here. I said that before, didn't I? Yeah, 14 I bought to put on the sell everything. I could cut that, and that could be collected just for grass, not baled. So I've been around that field. We kind of went around that field. That didn't go as planned, but I'll do some bits around the yard. I didn't check the bale count, so I've come a long way. And there's a big wall here, isn't there? I thought, oh, I'll just go down the slope. Oh no, hang on, we might be alright. Can we cut across the grass here? I mean, I own it, don't I? Probably not the best idea. Can I cut this? I jolly well can. Own that bit of grass there as well. Let's do it. I suppose there's that bit there as well. I think I mowed everything I can. I suddenly remembered I had the first bit of where my olive grove and vineyard is, the olive grove section, the grass had grown. So I just went up and mowed around that. So on to grab the piece of equipment. The Super Sadie baby, that's what we're going to get. Not from there, we're going to get it from the store. I think it's available. So if we go to is it animals or forage harvesters? That's a very good point. I think it's animals, because it's one of those for all intents and purposes. But the difference being, those ones mix feed and stuff like that, and they will bite into silage clamps and that kind of thing. I'm sure the Sadie picks up anything if you want it to, and you can have it unreal capacity and that kind of thing. It's got that lovely plastic top on it, which you can change the colour of. There's a whole load of things you can do. But you've got tub decals, basic Sadie, so for cleaning up, just that, or with everything, or with just animals with a little broom at the top. I think I'm saying go basic, just like that, with the Sadie logo on it, I think. Or should I go with something a bit more yeah, let's go with that, why not? Cover, clear plastic, I think I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to sort all the options out on this. There's a few. We'll put a trailer attached on there just in case. Field configuration, so at the moment it's on 25,000. I'm going to put it on 50. You can do Unreal at 100,000, but I think 50 is okay, we'll go with that. And then main colour and a few bits and bobs, tyre choices. I'll figure it out, we'll sort that out, and then we should be able to use that as a mobile forage trailer, I think. 90 grand. Let's go. I suddenly realised what I did. I gave back the auto load trailer that I had as part of the baling contract. I could have used that to go around and collect all the bales. I don't think they're expensive to lease another one, are they? I don't think they are. Probably 400 odd, something like that, just for the auto load. Let's just lease. Oh, £1,000. That's actually not too bad, is it? Don't want extensions. I'll collect those up later on. That's going to be done now. So, our new farm weapon. Cool number plate as well. I like the idea of the trailer hitch on the back of that too. So, this should... Do I unfold it? Yep, that's all a bad idea. lift that up. I think we can lift that all the way up. Do I need to lift that all the way up? Probably not. That's more, I say more, usually. If you're biting into the front edge of a silage clamp, that's what that's for. So I think I can probably close that down. I'm quite surprised I haven't used this prior to this. Considering what it does, it's one of those ones I think I've overlooked. I'm not quite sure how that came to be. But anyway, I did cut some grass along here. The lights in the back as well too. Look at that. Fancy. There's a lot of beacons in there. So this should, if I put that right down there, turn it on. Oh, ho, ho, you little beauty. So I don't know if this will pick up at regular speed. So we'll collect all the grass we can, and then we'll take it back to the yard. Then we'll get our hayloft put in. There's going to be a bit of backwards and forwards because there's a few places where I couldn't use the double mower, so I have to go backwards and forwards with the single, but we'll grab everything we can. That's going to be the only problem. Uneven ground, I think, might be a bit of an issue, but we'll do our very best. It's working. I think we can open the cover. There we go, look. This thing's cool. Just get stuck on. Just a bit of ground. Come back the other way for that. Just a little bit there, yeah, so it's a little bit of uneven ground. I think when they're designed to work in feed areas, they're not designed to be cross-country machines, are they? But the fact it's doing this at all is excellent. Great demand at the supermarket. Please tell me it's for sugar beet and they're paying a fortune for it. Let's have a look. Just you never know what it is though. Let's go down till something on the right hand side turns blue. It's going to be an obscure thing, like pyjamas or something. Yeah. There we go. Canola oil. Yep, I haven't got any of that. It's paying very well. Oh, that's something I need to check that I never thought of. There's me saying it works just like no, not that, that. Ah. So that's not showing in the menu on the left the option you normally get on a mixer wagon for doing total mixed rations. So does this not make total mixed ration? It is purely, I thought I did both. So if I do cows I might have to do something different. Oh, that's annoying. Maybe it will do if once the grass is out of it. I won't write it off just yet. I mean, I'm not writing it off. I mean, as a mixer wagon is what I mean. As a total mixed ration machine. Right, once this is full, I will see you back at the yard. We've got to decide where we're going to put a hayloft in. And I guess sheep pen. We are going to get some animals. I didn't realise how uneven this was. Drove over this with the tractor doing the mowing. It didn't really give the impression of being particularly bumpy and uneven. But First full load coming in. Sorry about earlier. I wasn't. I genuinely meant that. It was not me griping or looking for sympathy. Or I'm not. You know, people have asked. I was just explaining. I've always been one to talk openly about men's mental health and mental health generally and that kind of thing. I'm not going to lie. I'm a bit down at the moment. It's a bit tricky. But just wanted to let people know it's easier to just do it in one hit. Not there's many people watching this anymore, but for those that are watching it, thank you for sticking with it. I do appreciate it, I really do. So I'm thinking, because I levelled this all here, do that. Oh yeah, rear trailer hitch camera, that's pretty cool. That off because we're in the yard now. Turn that off. So I want to put a sheep pen up here. But I'm thinking haylofty barney building thing across the end here. Now I was trying to find an open area to put it so it wasn't on the grass area, but I want it near where the sheep are because it sort of just makes more sense that way around. I did have a look a little bit further over, and it allowed me to place it either end of this concrete area here. If you put the zone markers on, there are 2 hazard marked areas either side of this. I'm not sure they're remnants from that building, not that one, the duplicate of that used to sit here. So yeah, I thought I'd just slap it down here, but it's not going to work that obviously. So what I'm going to do, I think, is I'll show you this time. Usually I do the little pop. If we go to animals, go to our sheeps, I'm going to go for the one large, I think. Sheep barn large. Yeah, let's go large. Why not? I was going to swing it around that way and put it here, so it fits in nicely, kind of up with the edge here. If I can, if it will let me without interfering. There we go. So we've got the overlap with other objects. So that's interfering with the manure heap that side. But if I can get it just kind of, oh, there we go. I've overdone it there. Maybe about there, like that. I can do a little bit of landscaping around that end of it. So that's the sheep pen in for 195. I can take off those markers so they will disappear. And it kind of blends in with the grass, which is nice. If I can remember where the markers are. Oh, there we go. That was a bit of luck. That was just... It's going to be by one of the doors somewhere, isn't it? So we can sort of get them in at some point. I'll just do a little bit. That's actually worked out quite nicely there. I like that. We can drive up the side. Got the manure bit there, and then here we'll put in. It's under production chains, and it is that one. So I'm thinking, which way around do I want it? It doesn't really matter. It's a drive-through, so I can put a little drive bit through it. What's that overlapping with? That's weird. What would that overlap with there? What's on the roadway? I have no idea. Well, I do declare I thought it was going to be a lot cheaper than that, because I thought, well, it's fairly flat up here, isn't it? Does it get cheaper? Not really. I will put it there. That's not too bad at all, actually. So we can store in here, use it as a silo, no problem at all, because that is a production chain which does a whole load of stuff, a whole ream of things. But I will use that as a hayloft, and if I want to, I can use it as a hay dryer, or grass dryer, should I say, grass to hay. So at the moment I can put grass in it and store it, which a hayloft wouldn't normally let you do. It'd be hay or straw. So having this in place allows me to put the grass in it and just store the grass, which I can feed the sheep, or if I wanted to do hay I can, or if I want to do some hay to help with mixed ration I can. Now this does also make total mixed ration and that kind of thing. I've done that before, so if I'm doing total mixed ration I'm going to do it with bales into a mixer. I'm going to do total mixed ration that way. There's a whole load of other stuff this will do, but I simply am getting this for hayloft, and at 25 grand it's a nice cheap hayloft anyway. It's just being strong-willed enough with yourself. When you get to that point you go, oh well, actually it would be quick and easy, wouldn't it? I've got grass in there to just get that making some silage, because it's easier than putting into a silage clamp or making silage bales. Or, I mean, let's be honest, what I just did with the ultimate baling pack with that baler, was that difficult making silage bales? I mean, alright, admittedly you've got to wait for them to ferment, but once you get into a cycle like I am, I've got a load in there that are ready to go. So I take some out, put some in, and we're doing really well. So what should happen, he says, please work, please sir. We come under here, it should say, oh come on, no, it's not this side. Oh, panicked for a minute then, it's not here, is it? That's taking out. Putting in's done this side. I might just switch sides here. Actually, a little bit of landscape in there, it's a little bit weird. So, let's see which side it unloads first. No, wrong side. Let's do that. There we go. So 50,000 litres going in. A super CD. Cool. So hayloft is in. So I mean, to be fair, all I'd set myself in this episode was to chat about what was going on, get some grass cut, get the bales done, get the hayloft put in, get the grass collected, buy the sadie, put that in. All bales. I suppose I should really. I have taken on a cultivating contract as well. One or two? Just one. So I need to get the Rossel mash out with the cultivator, one of the cultivators, and get out and do cultivating. But I can't remember what field that was on. What field was that? Field 18. That was one of the ones I harvested. That's over the brow of the hill, isn't it? That's over there. So yeah, past where the harvesters are, up over the brow of the hill, just as you come down the other side towards field 17. So that needs cultivating, so I need to get onto that. Is that done again? Yeah. So what we will do is, where did oh yeah, we cut the field out here. Let's get on with this. I'm so happy with how that fitted in there. That was kind of what I had in my head when I was doing all this originally. I took the building down and thought, we'll grass it, I could put sheep in. I thought that might fit in quite nicely there. We're building up quite a nice, it feels more like a farm than an industrial complex now, you know. It feels a bit more farmy, if that's even a word, but you know. Oh, I didn't go back to that, did I? Let's get that picked up. I was going to go back over that to Bailiff, wasn't I? Let's just try full side. Just fly went past my face. I was like, whoa! Just really randomly blowing into the microphone. Sorry about that. It does every now and again leave a little bit, but that it depends how uneven the ground is. I think that was more that. Yeah, there you go, like that. I don't think I had that flat to the ground. So we'll get this off the roadway first. Corn's growing nicely. We're getting there. We are at that point, like I said, been talking about animals for absolutely ages, but we are at that point where we're almost ready. Once that corn's ready to go, we should be good to start making some pig food. Like I've said so many times, I could buy pig food, of course I could. I could have done pigs on my first episode if I wanted to. I could have said, right, I'm buying a load of pig food and just done pigs, but, you know, it depends how you want to do it. So in my head, this was the way I was looking at it. It does mean as well now I need to get back out and I need to get some fertiliser on these grass fields, here and up at the olive orchard. I'm going to have to go around with this and collect up everything. It goes at a fair speed as well. I mean, it can go faster, but you start missing bits if it's a little bit. It starts to get a bit bouncy. But actually, that's picking up pretty good, pretty well. It's picking up good. Some bales, cultivating. Yes, I'm thinking next episode we'll put the sheep. We'll go and get the sheep. We'll get an animal trailer. We'll collect the sheep. We'll get them in. We'll get them fed and get them going. I want to look at. I'll collect the bales up and we'll sort out selling, like swapping the silage bales over. So the ones we've got in the field for live bales, we'll sell those and see where we are financially again. Because I did say I want to put in that that grape pack spinnery. So I can do my wool and my cotton. Not that I'm doing cotton, but I can do wool from the sheep, and we can also do the must leatherette. Oh, no. She not like it. It's not good. Oh, that's very weird. Blimey, you've got another 50,000 litres. Woohoo! There we go. Raise that up. Swing it around. Let's go. Right. Let's get that back. And I think that's where I'm going to end. I'm only saying that because my leg's really starting to hurt. So it's that kind of, I have to be strict with myself. And, you know, because I know what I'm like, and I would sit for hours and hours and hours, and I just think, oh, I'll just take some painkillers, I'll take some more painkillers, I'll take some stronger painkillers. And I'm not going to do myself any favours. So I've got the bits done I wanted to get done. Grass is done. What I'm going to do, like I say, I'm not sure how I'm going to do it, but off camera. It's not even like, see, when CLG was a little bit younger, I'd be in a situation where I could say to her, look, if I give you a tenner, could you do some work for me on the farm off camera kind of thing? I know all my guys are all the Discord guys will message, and I really do appreciate that. But unfortunately, because I think setting up, it's not on a normal server and that kind of thing, I really appreciate the offer because I know it would come. So what we'll do is get some more grass put in. I'm going to go and get that cultivating sorted out. Actually, you know what, I'm going to go and grab, while that's unloading, let's go and grab the Rossel mash and the cultivator. And drive up back through the yard out towards field 18 anyway, and we'll end with me starting that cultivating. That's the only thing with something like this is you know, whereas normally I would sit at my desk and, like I've said before, audio book, bit of music, whatever, for hours and hours and hours. You don't think of things like this, you know, when you're in a position where you can't, much as you want to. Physically, you just can't. Engine off. So yeah, fits and starts. I'll get the rest of the grass sorted out, and then we'll get the sheep sorted out, and yeah, good to go. Right, let's go and grab the Rossel mash. Head out to field 18, start the cultivating on there. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. I thank you for your understanding. Kind of, it's a weirdly sort of preemptive, but generally speaking, whenever anything's happened, when my back went, when I had COVID, when all those things, people are so friendly and so nice and so kind, and you get lovely messages from people wishing you well and that kind of thing. I don't see why this would be any different. So that kind of preemptive thank you for your support and your friendship and kindness, and you know, it is always very much appreciated. It really, really is. So just looking at the time, because I've also got to head off to the hospital. Back on the drip. Good good fun. Anyway, if you have enjoyed it, if you're still enjoying it, please give us a like. Please, 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 please. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. It's a lot of pleases. Thanks for watching.